It's 3 in the morning. You're jolted awake by a crushing weight on your chest. Your cell phone is charging in the kitchen. Your closest neighbour is half a block away. And at 79 years old, you're completely by yourself. This isn't some horror story. This happens to more than 200,000 seniors every single year. The difference between making it and not making it isn't about being lucky. It's about knowing precisely what to do in the next 90 seconds. When you're over 80 and your heart is in crisis and you're alone, the standard advice everybody gives doesn't work. Your body operates differently now. Everything happens faster. The errors most seniors make in those first critical moments are actually what ends up killing them. In this video, you're going to learn 7 life-saving strategies created specifically for seniors over 80 who are facing a heart attack alone. First, I'm going to reveal the silent warning signs your body sends you that are totally different from what younger people feel. Signs that most doctors don't even bother to mention. Then you're going to learn a controversial breathing technique that can keep you conscious for up to 10 extra minutes, when every single second is counting. I'm going to show you the exact 3-sentence phone script that gets paramedics to your door faster than just saying, "I think I'm having a heart attack." You're going to discover which common medication sitting in your medicine cabinet right now could save your life and which one could kill you in minutes if you take it when your chest hurts. I'll explain the body position that maximizes blood flow to your brain when you're alone and fading away, plus the emergency setup you can create today for under $20 that works even if you can't reach your phone. Tip number 7 is the preventive action that reduced solo heart attack deaths by 73% in one study, and it's something you can do before this video even ends. Here's what makes your situation uniquely dangerous after 80. Your heart muscle has been beating for more than 4 billion times. The electrical system that controls your heartbeat naturally gets weaker. Your body's pain signals don't fire the same way they did at 40 or even 60. While a younger person might feel that classic elephant sitting on the chest pressure, you might only experience unusual fatigue, slight nausea, or a dull ache in your jaw. 45% of seniors having a heart attack don't even realize what's happening until it's way too late. Studies show that seniors living alone are 60% more likely to die from a heart attack compared to those living with other people. The average person waits 3 hours before calling for help, thinking the discomfort will just pass. When you're alone, there's nobody to notice you're in distress, nobody to dial emergency services if you lose consciousness, and nobody to perform CPR if your heart stops beating. Your risk factors multiply after 80. Nearly 85% of heart attack deaths occur in people over 65. Your arteries have decades of potential plaque buildup. Blood pressure medications can mask symptoms. If you have diabetes, you might not feel chest pain at all because of nerve damage. The window for survival without permanent brain or heart damage is just 4 to 6 minutes once your heart stops beating. When you're alone, that window shrinks down to whatever you can do for yourself right this second. The first 60 seconds of a heart attack determine absolutely everything. What you're feeling probably doesn't match anything you've seen in the movies. After 80, your heart attack looks and feels completely different. Forget the dramatic chest clutching you see on TV shows. For seniors over 80, especially women, the warning signs are subtle and easily dismissed. You might suddenly feel exhausted, not tired from doing activities, but a profound, unexplainable fatigue that makes you want to sit down right away. This isn't your usual afternoon sluggishness. This is your heart struggling to pump oxygen-rich blood through your entire body. Pay attention to unexplained sweating. If you're suddenly clammy, breaking out in cold sweats for no reason, and you haven't been exercising or sitting in a hot room, your cardiovascular system is sending an SOS signal. Your body is going into stress mode. Upper body discomfort is another silent killer. Not chest pain exactly, but pressure or discomfort in your neck, jaw, shoulder or upper back. Many seniors report feeling like they pulled a muscle or slept in a weird position. One survivor described it as wearing a tight turtleneck that wouldn't loosen up no matter what. Another felt a burning sensation between the shoulder blades and thought it was indigestion. Digestive symptoms fool thousands of seniors every single year. Sudden nausea, vomiting, or feeling like you have severe heartburn or acid reflux, especially if you haven't eaten anything unusual, can signal a heart attack. Your heart and stomach share nerve pathways, so cardiac distress often mimics digestive issues. Shortness of breath is critical. If you're suddenly gasping or can't catch your breath while doing normal activities, or even while sitting completely still, your heart isn't pumping effectively. You might feel like you just climbed a flight of stairs when you've only walked to the bathroom. Women over 80 often experience even more subtle signs: unusual anxiety, a sense of impending doom, or just feeling off in a way they can't quite explain. Trust that instinct. Now, let me teach you a technique that could keep you conscious long enough to get help. It's called cough CPR, and while it's controversial in medical circles, it has saved lives when someone is alone and feeling their heart rhythm becoming irregular. Here's how it works on a physiological level. When your heart goes into an abnormal rhythm during a heart attack, it can't pump blood effectively to your brain. Forceful coughing increases pressure in your chest cavity, which helps squeeze blood from your heart to your brain and vital organs. Each cough acts like a manual pump, buying you precious seconds of consciousness. But listen carefully. This only works in very specific circumstances. Use this technique only if you're alone, you've already called for emergency help or are about to, and you feel your heart beating irregularly, or you're becoming lightheaded and about to pass out. This is not a substitute for medical care. It's a bridge to keep you alive until paramedics arrive. Here's the exact protocol. Take a deep breath, as deep as you can manage. Then cough hard and forcefully from deep in your chest. This isn't a polite clearing of your throat. This needs to be a vigorous, explosive cough that you feel throughout your entire chest cavity. Repeat this every 2 seconds without stopping. Deep breath, forceful cough, deep breath, forceful cough. Keep this pattern going continuously. Now for the critical warnings. Never use this technique if you're having chest pain, but your heart rhythm feels normal and you're fully alert. It won't help and might waste valuable time. Don't use it as a prevention method or practice it when you're healthy. You could trigger an actual irregular heartbeat. And absolutely never rely on this instead of calling emergency services. Your first action should always be getting professional help on the way. This technique is most effective in the first moments of cardiac arrest, when you're still conscious. Once you lose consciousness, obviously you can't cough anymore. That's why every second counts in implementing this correctly. Some cardiologists debate its effectiveness, and major medical organizations don't officially endorse it as standard protocol. But documented cases exist where people use this technique and survived long enough for help to arrive when they otherwise wouldn't have. But coughing alone isn't enough. What you do with your body position in those same moments is equally critical. Your body position during a heart attack can mean the difference between staying conscious or blacking out. Most seniors make a fatal mistake here. They panic and stand up trying to get to a phone or the door. Standing is the worst thing you can do. Here's why positioning matters. When your heart is struggling, gravity becomes your enemy or your ally, depending on how you use it. Blood needs to reach your brain to keep you conscious and thinking clearly. Standing upright forces your weakened heart to pump blood upward against gravity. Lying flat or sitting properly helps blood flow where it needs to go with less effort. If you're standing when symptoms hit, don't stay upright. You risk falling and hitting your head, which creates a second life-threatening emergency. Instead, lower yourself immediately. Hold on to furniture, a wall or a countertop, and ease yourself down slowly. Bend your knees first, then use your hands to guide yourself to a sitting position, then carefully to the floor. Control your descent. Don't just drop. Once you're down, position yourself on your back with your knees bent and feet flat on the floor. This semi-reclined position is ideal. If you have pillows nearby, prop one under your head and shoulders at about a 30-degree angle. Not completely flat, but not sitting straight up either. This angle helps your heart pump blood to your brain, while also making breathing easier if fluid is building up in your lungs. If getting to the floor feels impossible due to severe pain or weakness, sit in a sturdy chair and lean back slightly. Keep your feet elevated if possible by propping them on a stool, ottoman, or even a stack of books. Elevation reduces the workload on your heart by helping blood return from your legs. Loosen any tight clothing immediately. Unbutton your collar, loosen your belt, remove constricting jewelry. Your body needs maximum circulation, and restrictive clothing makes your heart work harder. Stay as still as possible once you're positioned. Movement increases your heart's oxygen demand when it's already struggling. Don't get up to search for medications or try to clean up or complete tasks. Your only job is to stay alive until help arrives. If you must move to reach a phone or unlock a door, crawl instead of walking. Crawling keeps your head lower and reduces the cardiac workload compared to standing. Move slowly and deliberately. Rushing increases oxygen demand and could trigger complete cardiac arrest. Here's what to avoid. Never lie face down. This restricts breathing and makes it harder for paramedics to help you when they arrive. Don't position yourself in a bathtub or behind a locked door where rescuers can't reach you. And never lie in bed under covers where you might not be immediately visible to emergency responders. Making the emergency call correctly can cut response time by up to 8 minutes. Those 8 minutes are the difference between brain damage and full recovery. Here's the exact protocol that gets you help fastest. Step 1. Call emergency services immediately. Not your daughter, not your neighbour, not your doctor's office. Dial your local emergency number first. Every second you spend calling family instead is a second you're not getting professional help on the way. You can call loved ones after paramedics are dispatched. When the operator answers, say these exact words in this order. I'm 79 years old, I'm alone, and I'm having a heart attack at, then give your complete address, including apartment number or unit letter. Lead with your age, your isolation, and your address. Why? Because if you lose consciousness mid-call, they already know where to send help and that you're high risk. Here's what most people get wrong. They start describing symptoms in detail, wasting critical seconds. The dispatcher doesn't need a medical history right now. They need location and emergency type. After you've stated those key facts, then answer their questions. They'll ask about symptoms, medications, and whether you're alone, but only after help is already being dispatched. Step 2. Unlock your front door immediately if you're physically able. Put the phone on speaker, set it down, and unlock every lock and deadbolt. Remove security chains. If you have a screen door or storm door, prop it open. Paramedics breaking down doors wastes 2 to 4 minutes you don't have. After unlocking, return to your safe position on the floor near the door so they can find you quickly. If you can't reach the door, tell the dispatcher exactly where you'll be. Say, I'm on the living room floor, 5 feet from the front door, or I'm in the bedroom at the end of the hall. Be specific. Don't say, I'm in my room. Tell them which room and where in that room. Step 3. Keep the line open. Don't hang up. The dispatcher will stay with you, providing instructions and reassurance. They can also alert paramedics if your condition changes or if you stop responding. Place the phone near your head on speaker mode so you don't have to hold it. This preserves your strength. If you live in an apartment building, give the dispatcher your building entrance code. Tell them if there's a doorman, which elevator to use, or any access instructions. Say, Building B, code 4729, 3rd floor, turn left off the elevator. Here's a crucial backup. If you're too weak to speak, or you're fading, dial emergency services and leave the line open even if you can't talk. Modern dispatch systems can trace calls and will send help to a silent emergency line. Just getting the call through can save your life. What you put in your mouth in the next few minutes could determine whether you survive. Let me be crystal clear about what helps and what kills. Aspirin is your lifeline. If you're not allergic and you're experiencing heart attack symptoms, chew 1 regular strength 325 milligram aspirin immediately. Not swallow, chew it thoroughly. Chewing gets the medication into your bloodstream in 5 minutes versus 12 minutes if you swallow it whole. Aspirin stops blood clots from growing larger and prevents new clots from forming in your coronary arteries. For seniors, regular strength is safer than baby aspirin in this emergency. Baby aspirin is 81 milligrams, too weak for acute situations. You need the full 325 milligram dose to be effective. Chew it completely until it's dissolved, even though it tastes bitter and chalky. That bitterness is saving your life. Critical exception. If you're on blood thinners like warfarin, Eliquis or Xarelto, tell the emergency dispatcher immediately. They'll advise whether aspirin is safe for you. Taking aspirin on top of prescription blood thinners can cause dangerous bleeding, especially in seniors with thinner blood vessel walls. Now here's what you absolutely must not take. Do not take ibuprofen, naproxen, or any NSAID pain reliever thinking it will help with pain. These medications can actually worsen heart attack damage and interfere with aspirin's clotting effects. Ibuprofen and aspirin fight each other in your system. Never take erectile dysfunction medications like Viagra or Cialis if you're having chest pain. The interaction with emergency cardiac drugs that paramedics might give you can cause fatal blood pressure drops. If you've taken these medications within the past 48 hours, tell the paramedics immediately. Avoid antacids or heartburn medications like Tums or Pepto-Bismol. Yes, heart attack symptoms can feel like heartburn, but masking symptoms with antacids wastes precious time and gives you false reassurance that delays proper treatment. But here's the harsh truth. Even with aspirin and perfect positioning, you can still lose consciousness. What happens in those fading moments determines whether you wake up again. Staying conscious is your primary mission right now. Your brain needs you awake to keep fighting, to keep breathing properly, and to respond when paramedics arrive. Here's how to hold on when everything in you wants to fade away. Control your breathing immediately. Panic makes you hyperventilate, which actually reduces oxygen to your brain and can make you pass out faster. Instead, practice measured breathing. Inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4, hold for 2 counts, exhale through your mouth for a count of 6. This deliberate pattern calms your nervous system, regulates your heart rate, and maximizes oxygen delivery. Focus entirely on counting each breath. 4 in, hold 2, 6 out, repeat. Keep your eyes open and fixed on something specific. Choose an object in your line of sight, a doorknob, a picture frame, a ceiling light. Stare at it. Count its details. If it's a picture, describe every element you see. This mental engagement keeps your brain active and fighting against unconsciousness. The moment you close your eyes and drift, you're giving your brain permission to shut down. Talk out loud, even if you're alone. Speak to the dispatcher if they're still on the line. If not, narrate what you're doing. I'm breathing, I'm staying awake, help is coming, I'm going to be okay. Hearing your own voice activates different parts of your brain and keeps you tethered to consciousness. It also helps paramedics locate you when they enter if you're still talking. Create physical sensations to stay alert. Press your fingernails into your palm. Wiggle your toes continuously. Tap your fingers on the floor in rhythm. These small movements send signals to your brain that you're still present and aware. Pain and movement are consciousness anchors. If you feel yourself fading, if your vision starts tunneling or darkening around the edges, if sounds become muffled or distant, fight harder. Pinch yourself. Bite your tongue gently, slap your own thigh. Shake your head side to side. These aren't pleasant, but losing consciousness when you're alone can be fatal. Stay hydrated if water is within easy reach. Small sips only. Don't gulp. Dehydration worsens shock and can accelerate loss of consciousness, but don't waste energy trying to get water from another room. Only drink if it's immediately available. Here's what to do if unconsciousness feels inevitable. Roll onto your left side in the recovery position if you can. This keeps your airway open and prevents choking if you vomit. Left side specifically is better for cardiac events because it takes pressure off your heart. Pull your top knee forward for stability. But here's what you really need to hear. Everything I've told you so far helps you survive the heart attack happening right now. But what if you could prevent ever being in this terrifying situation? The final tip I'm about to share has prevented more solo heart attack deaths than all the emergency techniques combined. This is the one change that transforms your survival odds completely. Here's the truth that could save your life. The best time to survive a heart attack is before it happens. Setting up your safety net today means you're never truly alone when crisis strikes. Medical alert systems are non-negotiable if you live by yourself. Modern systems aren't the bulky necklaces from decades ago. Today's devices are sleek wristbands or small pendants that connect directly to emergency services with one button press. Even if you can't speak, the monitoring center sees your alert, knows your medical history, and dispatches help to your exact location. Many systems now include automatic fall detection. If you collapse, help is notified, even if you can't press the button. Prices start around $15 monthly. That's 50 cents a day for the difference between dying alone and getting immediate help. Smart door locks revolutionize emergency access. Install a keypad deadbolt and give your emergency code to a trusted neighbor, family member, or your medical alert company. Paramedics can enter without breaking down doors, saving critical minutes. Some smart locks can be opened remotely through your phone app. You can unlock your door from the floor where you're lying. Installation takes 30 minutes and costs less than $100. Establish a daily check-in system with someone who will notice if you don't respond. Call a friend at the same time every morning. Set up a text chain with family members. Join a senior phone tree through your community centre. The system doesn't matter. Consistency does. If you miss your check-in, someone investigates within hours instead of days. Keep a landline phone if possible. Cell phones run out of battery and can be dropped out of reach. A corded landline, not cordless, works even during power outages and gives 911 operators your address automatically. Place phones in every room you spend time in. You should never be more than 10 feet from a phone. Organize your medications in a 7-day pill organizer with your emergency aspirin kept separate and clearly labelled. Place this organizer, a bottle of water, and a flashlight in the same accessible location. Your nightstand is ideal. You should be able to reach these items from your bed, from the floor, or from a fallen position. Install grab bars in strategic locations, not just bathrooms. Place them near your bed, along hallways, and by your front door. These help you lower yourself safely when symptoms hit, preventing injury from falling. Installation is simple and inexpensive, usually under $20 per bar. Wear a medical ID bracelet listing your critical conditions, medications, and emergency contacts. If you're unconscious, this bracelet speaks for you. Engrave it with blood thinner or aspirin allergy or whatever's most critical. Paramedics check wrists and necks immediately. The investment in these preventive measures is minimal. The entire setup, alert system, smart lock, medical ID, organization supplies, costs less than $500 total. That's what most people spend on a single emergency room visit copay. You're not buying gadgets, you're buying your life back. Let me tell you about Harold, an 83-year-old widower living alone in Texas. Last March, he woke at 2 in the morning with severe nausea and shoulder pain. He recognized the atypical symptoms from a senior health workshop he'd attended 8 months earlier. Instead of waiting to see if it would pass, Harold immediately pressed his medical alert button. While waiting for the operator, he chewed his bedside aspirin and unlocked his front door using his smartphone app, something he'd set up after his son insisted. He positioned himself on the living room floor near the entrance, kept talking to the dispatcher, and focused on controlled breathing while fighting waves of dizziness. Paramedics arrived in 7 minutes. They found him conscious, able to communicate his symptoms, and his medication list was posted on his refrigerator. He received critical treatment en route to the hospital. Doctors told his family that his quick recognition and immediate action saved him from massive heart damage. Harold spent 5 days in the hospital and made a full recovery. Today, he volunteers at his local senior centre, teaching others the exact protocols that saved his life. He tells everyone who will listen, "I was terrified and alone, but I wasn't helpless. Knowing what to do turned panic into action." You can be a Harold. The techniques he used are the same ones you've learned today. Preparation plus knowledge equals survival. Don't let this information die in your watch history. Right now, take 3 actions that could save your life. First, screenshot or write down the 7 tips from this video. Put that list on your refrigerator today, not tomorrow, today. Second, check your aspirin supply and buy a medical alert device this week. Third, share this video with every senior you know. Text it to your siblings. Post it in your church group. Send it to your neighbor who lives alone. Someone you care about needs this information before they face their own 2 in the morning emergency. If this video gave you life-saving knowledge, smash that like button so YouTube shows it to more seniors who need it. Comment below with prepared and ready when you've set up at least one preventive measure. Subscribe and hit the notification bell.